the Student Leadership Johnson Graduation ceremony, where more than 100 of us come together with one purpose, to become better leaders. To the class of 2019, we walked into this program more than 2 years ago, unsure of what we were going to get from this program, but we grew together to become strong and empowered leaders, one team trained to soon be the future of our world. To the class of 2020, you're halfway through this incredible program, and the best is yet to come. Remember to use the skills you sharpened in the next year to become better and more inspiring leaders. And lastly, to the class of 2021. I remember sitting exactly where you were, not sure of what I would gain from this program. But you're in for an amazing 2 years. I've grown in so many ways through this program, and I know you will too. Without further ado, I'm honored to introduce someone who's supported this program for the past 8 years, was inspired to participate in the Leadership Johns Creek, and is continuing to support this program every step of the way. The principal of Northview High School, Mr. Brian Dowdy.
Good evening, and on behalf of the entire Northview staff, students, and community, welcome to Northview High School. We are very proud to host this outstanding event. This program is indeed near and dear to my heart. I've been involved with Student Leadership Johns Creek since I came to Fulton County, and I've been so inspired by these kids that I actually enrolled in Leadership Johns Creek and just completed my last day today with that program. So I will be graduating just like these students next month. So it is indeed an outstanding program. To the students that are here tonight, we couldn't be more proud to serve you. You make our jobs very easy because you are so talented, so driven, and so wonderful. So congratulations and welcome to Northview High School. And because this is basically a school event, we do have to start with the official program as we do every school day with our Pledge of Allegiance. And we have a special guest to lead us. The one is the only person that we could ever imagine to lead us in this, Mr. Roger Wise.
Folks, freedom is not free. Someone has to pay for it. All the veterans in the room, on your feet, stand up. Keep standing. I didn't tell you, once a sergeant, always a sergeant. When I say stand up, you stand up and keep standing. We're saluting you and we're thanking you for your service to our country. These great patrons you see standing in front of you have paid their taxes so we can be free. There's young men and young women all over the world as we're here this evening paying their taxes so we can be free. Had the pleasure of attending a JROTC ceremony this afternoon in Centennial High School. 4 of those young men and young women have taken the oath. They're going in service. I told them how proud they made me and how proud they make this community. We're now going to have the colors presented by the Johns Creek Veteran Association Color Guards. Everybody on your feet. Join me in pledging the flag of the greatest country in the world, the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. thank the Johns Creek Veteran Association and the City of Johns Creek. We had last year, how many went to the Vietnam Wall when we had it in Johns Creek? That was a moving experience. I'm a Vietnam veteran. I have friends that tell me, Roger, I go to Washington and I just don't have the guts to go to the wall. What they're saying is it's a wall that heals. You go through a healing process and it starts there. So we decided to have that wall open in Johns Creek 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the whole time we had it here. I'm out there on a Friday morning about 2 a.m. and there's 7 veterans kneeling, talking to the wall, touching it, laughing, crying, healing. I'm out on Saturday afternoon. This lady looks over her shoulder and said, Mr. Wise, would you wait a minute? I want to introduce you to my son. I waited about 10 minutes and they get up. This grown man comes up to me with tears in his eyes. He said, thank you, sir. I met my father today. His mother was 3 months pregnant with him when his dad went to Vietnam. That's the power of the wall. And because of what these great Americans have done and what our elected officials and city council has done, we have bought that wall and we're bringing it back to Johns Creek. It will be installed in the Memorial Park in Newtown, and it'll be open 24/7. The healing wall will be here. So thank you guys for that, and thank you, city, for what you're doing for veterans. God bless you.
Detail, right, please. Forward, march. Detail, home.
Hi, my name is Kriti Gilbari, and as a current and past ambassador, I'm proud to announce that today we have Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger with us today. We have something for you, Mr. Raffensperger, so if you could come up, that would be great. And if all past and current ambassadors could come up right now.
I want to say a few words before we recognize everyone. First off, when you think about this, how it started, as I was talking to Roger Wise, who is not just your ambassador, he's the ambassador to Georgia. And so we see Roger all the time down at the state capitol. I know you see him around here. But it really starts with community engagement and people that want to get involved in recognizing students that had the right and had to qualify to become part of student leadership. And it's very exciting to think that you actually have won your region 2 years in a row. But you also won for the state 2 years in a row. You think about it. I know that we have 159 counties, and I know that our mayor knows how many cities we have, throughout the state of Georgia. And there's a lot of cities, and you think about how many high schools we have, how many communities we have, and to become, recognized winner for this year, not just for your region, for the congressional district, which is a high honor for the entire state. I just have to really give you a shout out for that tremendous achievement. And we're looking forward to next week. We'll capital for all of the 14 regional winners, and obviously for our state winner. But I'm here tonight just to visit my hometown. And I have to say this, I'm the Secretary of State for the entire state. I had nothing to do with the voting of this system, so this is fair and open, so well deserved. And I just want to say congratulations again. So we're going to read out some people's names, and then we're going to have you come forward, and I'll shake your hand, and we'll do a photo for everyone.
Sid Balaga. David Z. Eliza Imhoff. Nikita Joshi. Amir Khan. Jenny Liu. Suraj Paramanu. Sherry Singh. And Amshu Chakraborty.
Sure, definitely.
And Pretty, you hold one hand hold that in the front because you're the lowest. Just get it right together. Take a picture.
All right, everybody on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. We get one more. 1, 2.
Good evening. My name is and I attend High School. One of my favorite memories about student leadership on Creek was volunteering at Sunrise Senior Living Community Center. I enjoyed spending time with the seniors, as well as spreading joy to all of us. I am so excited to be here tonight and to introduce Ms. Catherine Albright. Ms. Albright is the president of Leadership Johns Creek and the director of Community Relations and Volunteer Services at Emory-Johns Creek Hospital. She served as the Director of Development at the Assistant League of South Carolina, as well as the Georgia Institute of Technology in Emory-Johns Creek Hospital over the past 21 years. She is truly gifted at fundraising and managing others. Aside from her talents, Ms. Albright is actively involved in Leadership Johns Creek, Student Leadership Johns Creek, and the Rotary Club of Johns Creek. On a final note, she is also a fascinating individual. We are so grateful for her presence among us today. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ms. Catherine Albright.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here on behalf of the Board of
directors of Leadership Johns Creek, and I get the pleasure of extending a warm welcome to the distinguished dignitaries and special guests that are in attendance with us tonight. And hold your applause till the end, because I have quite a few names. Mayor Mike Bacher, Mayor of Johns Creek, Sheriff Ted Jackson, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who you just heard from, Kirsten Casimir, who is the coordinator of the Student Ambassador Program, Fulton County Commissioner Liz Hausman, State Representative Angelica Kausch, Chris Custis, the Adult Program, Tim Corrigan, Fulton County Schools East Area Superintendent, Kibby Crumbly, Fulton County Schools West Area Superintendent, Craig Tovey, Georgia Tech professor, who has helped our student leadership Johns Creek students through shadowing and has been a guest speaker to the group several times. And Johns Creek City Council members, Steve Broadbent, Lenny Zakowski, Stephanie Andrus, John Bradbury, and Chris Kaufman. And, thought I was done, Dilip Chunki and Michael Guo, who are members of the class of 2019 of the Adult Leadership Johns Creek program, and also have students in the Student Leadership Johns Creek program. Let's give them all a hand. And I see Ken Davies down in the front row too, so I don't want to forget about Ken. He's the CEO of the Johns Creek Chamber of Commerce. So welcome. Thanks to all of you for your support of Student Leadership Johns Creek, and congratulations to all the graduates. Good night.
Good evening. My name is Ann Phillip, and I attend Northview High School. This year, one of my favorite experiences through Student Leadership Johns Creek was our Government Day. Getting to visit the Georgia Capitol was not only a privilege, but an opportunity that allowed me to see firsthand how our state is run. From observing countless representatives at work in legislation hearings to city planning meetings, I realized that true success is only possible when every part and person of a system contributes their share under a mindset of compromise. After a great day full of exposure to various departments, my eyes were truly open to a potential career path in politics and civil service. I am now happy to introduce Ron Jones, a man who in 2012, through his aspirations for a greater potential in our city's youth, founded Student Leadership Johns Creek.
Thank you very much. 8 years ago, a group of us sat down and we discussed extending the Adult Leadership Johns Creek program to students. Never thought it would come to the place where it's come now. In the 7 years, including the class today, we graduated 333 students in a 2-year program that has pitted them with themselves to learn how to grow and become student leaders, important as individuals, and even more so, learning to be leaders together, because our community only works when we all work together. So the ones that graduated 7 years ago are now graduating from graduate school. Many of we hear back from them, they would love to come back to Johns Creek. Now what has helped make this possible are the corporate sponsorships. Student leadership and leadership is a public-private partnership between the school district, city, Chamber of Commerce, leadership, and certain key businesses in our city. I want to recognize those businesses that for 7 years have supported us financially, as well as through their opening up their buildings so that our students could have a safe place to come and to learn and to spend their days, their half days and full days. First is our presenting sponsor for 7th straight year, Johns Creek Hospital. And our retreat sponsor for 7 years, Gwinnett Medical Center, Duluth. Both of these organizations have provided also shadowing capabilities for students who want to learn what it might be like to be a physician or to work in the administration of a place like that. I also want to recognize another organization. AT&T found out about how smart our students are and that we wanted to do something for the seniors. So they came up with a program where they would bring used iPhones and iPads, and we would have a day where the students would come, and anybody in the community, if they had some kind of a problem with working their iPhone or their iPad, or wanted to find out how they could FaceTime, what does that mean, with their grandchildren. And so it fills up every year. AT&T is a great sponsor of this and helps us out. We have several private citizens that have jumped on board to help support the program. Kay Lucas, Cleve Gaddis, and Colonel and Mrs. Oberland, who the Colonel came to the training that was given here just a few months ago, was so impressed that and we were so shocked when he emailed us a nice check to help support the program in the future to come. So I want to say a big thanks to you as parents. Be aware that for the new class you're coming on board, it's going to be 2 years. You're going to have a stressful time with your school. The student leadership is going to be a blessed time. And you're going to be a different individual when you graduate from it. Thank you for coming tonight.
Good evening. My name is Keon Kermani, and I attend Johns Creek High School. And one of my favorite parts about student leadership at Johns Creek really hasn't just been the program days, the lessons we've learned, but it's really been the people the students have gotten to meet through this program. Through student leadership at Johns Creek, I've really gotten to meet a lot of passionate and dedicated student leaders in schools that aren't just my own, which is an opportunity I wouldn't have gotten just to club at my school. Whether we're on a bus to the Fulton County Jail or learning a lesson at Emory Johns Creek Hospital, it's been a pleasure working with each and every one of you, and I can't wait to grow more as a class. I'm very happy to introduce our school's principals. Would you please stand and remain standing while our students present you with a thank you gift. Tim Duncan from Chattahoochee High School. Brian Downey from Northview High School. And as well as the sponsors from Johns Creek High School to receive the gift as the principal cannot be here tonight. And as well as Centennial High School.
Good evening. My name is Kaya Parikh, and I'm part of Northview's class of 2020. My favorite experiences from student leadership Johns Creek were not only from the events that Ms. Sanders so carefully planned for all of us, but also from the experiences I had outside with my group for the Community Service Project. My group worked with Foster Care Support Foundation, and it was so rewarding to see the joy on the kids' faces and the gratitude from the parents for providing what we could to their lives. I'm happy to introduce the school sponsors, and I ask that you stand and remain standing while our students present you with the gift. First, Ms. Amanda Weil from Chattahoochee High School. Ms. Amanda Skrock from Centennial High School. Madam Roya Schweinbeck from Johns Creek High School. And Ms. Susan Walker from Northview High School. My name is Srijit Gupta, and I attend Chattanooga High School. One of my favorite program days under Student Leadership Johns Creek was Government Day, where we learned more about our community by exploring the many facilities we have across the city. Tonight, I am happy to introduce Mike Bodker, the mayor of Johns Creek. Mayor Bodker is the first mayor of Johns Creek and has held the title since November 2006. He is currently serving his 4th term. Additionally, Mayor Bodker is the vice chair of the Tourism, Arts, Parks, and Entertainment and Sports Standing Committee, and he serves on the boards of the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce and the Johns Creek Chamber of Commerce. His past accomplishments include a term as the inaugural chairman of the North Fulton Municipal Association and as the chairman of the Metro Atlanta Mayors Association, as well as a tenure as the 83rd president of the Georgia Municipal Association, for which he has been inducted into the Georgia Municipal Hall of Fame. Mayor Bodker is also a loving husband to Kate Bodker and a wonderful father to his children, Jake, Carrie, and Emma Kate. Under his guidance, Johns Creek has flourished into the city we all know and love today. So please, give a warm welcome to Mayor Bodker.
Thanks for that wonderful introduction. It just reminds me that I've been doing this too long. What a great night. This is one of the events that I look forward to every year. By show of hands, how many of the adult leadership participants do we have in the room? Okay, so I won't offend too many people with my next statement. I'm so glad we started the student leadership program because you guys kick the adults' butts. You're awesome. You should be very proud of what you've accomplished. I've had the opportunity, actually, for some of you, literally to see you since you were much, much younger. Brianna, as an example, attended elementary school with my twins, and I have literally watched her grow up to be the wonderful young lady that she is today, as are many of you, all of you, wonderful young men and women. And I look forward to all the great things you're going to accomplish. I understand some of the fun facts, some of the schools that you have accepted. You know, slouch schools like West Point, Harvard, Princeton, UC Berkeley. One of you is debating, I understand, between Stanford and MIT. Terrible choices. NYU. Oh, and then there's those lesser universities like University of Georgia and Georgia Tech. And I know there's many more. I think that's just a small example of the kind of accomplishments that you've already had in your high school years and setting that GPA and performing as you have and gotten into these top schools. And congratulations to all of you for what you've accomplished. So I was watching the Student Ambassador Program this year from afar and nervous about how would they do. And I remember the final results were in, and I called Irene, and I said, so how did they do? And she said, well, I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you. And I said, well, what's so embarrassing? She said, the score was embarrassing. It was so far ahead of everybody else, we kind of feel bad. I don't. I like bragging rights. And I feel for the second and third and on place teams, but I'm very proud, and I want to congratulate the student ambassadors for winning the second year in a row. What a great job you did. Congratulations. I also understand that the group this year did 8 community projects. That's 8 lasting things in our community. Thank you. Congratulations. Well done. And in general, I just want to say that you made the right choice. I know many of you competed very hard to get in this program. You earned it. To the rising seniors, as you leave and you head off to school, I wish you all the best. I think that the skills that you learned in the 2 years that you were in this program are immeasurable, and I know that you will realize it as you go further through your school and into your career, what you gained by being in this. To the parents, thank you for making the investment. I hope they thank you as well. I know what it takes to run everyone to and from all the things, and this is one more added thing, and I've looked at the resumes of these kids, so I know how many other things they do as well. So thank you to the parents. Let's give them a round of applause. To the juniors that are rising to senior. You've got a lot to keep up with, but of course you've already been in the program 1 year, so congratulations on that, and I know you'll finish strong. And by show of hands, we have sophomores that are going to be rising and joining the program. You're here tonight, I understand? Congratulations. You all have earned a very big distinction. So I can measure how important something is by who shows up. And that's a small measure, of course. And of course, the most important thing is your parents showed up. But besides that, to have the principals of all these schools, to have the area superintendent, to have, and I need to, by the way, recognize them. So for our Johns Creek City Council members that are here, can you please stand? To have your CEO president, to have your state elected officials, to have your county commissioner, to have your sheriff, not here to make an arrest. These are wonderful, wonderful, not 100% of our population, but you are 100% of our future. And I know with folks like you, we've got nothing to worry about. So congratulations again. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here tonight, and I wish you all the best.
Good evening. My name is Cynthia Twinkie, and I attend SLJC High School. Being a part of student leadership of Johns Creek for the past 2 years has been an incredible experience, and I'm excited to use all that I learned in the future studies and my career. One of my favorite memories of student leadership of Johns Creek is learning about effective communication through mock interviews. After an interactive presentation by Mrs. Kohana, I was able to incorporate various methods into strengthening my speaking skills and being more confident. I'm also honored to introduce Ms. Liz Hausman, a Fulton County Commissioner representing Northeast Fulton. She was a founding Johns Creek City Council member and also served as a Vice President of Governmental Affairs for the Greater North Fulton Chamber of Commerce. Since joining the Commission, Mrs. Hausman has been known for embracing private sector solutions. By recognizing the importance of transportation infrastructure in the business environment, she has focused on developing a comprehensive Fulton County transportation plan. So please help me welcome Ms. Liz Hausman.
Good evening. I'm so honored to be here tonight on this special occasion to recognize such a distinguished group of young leaders that we have in our community and their families. There's a lot of proud parents here and a lot of proud grandparents. If you're a grandparent, raise your hand. Because you've done it. You've helped build these kids, and we're so happy that you're able to be here tonight to celebrate this. The accomplishments of this group are far and wide. We heard about the wonderful higher educational institutions that many of them are going to. But I think one of the most important things that these young leaders have to add to their list of accomplishments is they've learned a very valuable lesson very early in life, and that's that leadership matters. As John Maxwell says, the pessimist complains about the wind. The optimist expects the wind to change. The leader adjusts the sails. And we've got a fine group of leaders that are going to adjust our sails in the future that we can all be proud of. They've worked hard to develop and hone their leadership skills over the last few years, and they're going to use those skills in the future to build strong communities. As a commissioner, I've had the privilege of bringing these students downtown to Atlanta to show them how their county government works. Yes, they've gone to jail, but they've done a lot of other things. And one of the things that I think is so remarkable that they've done is embrace the election process. And as we know, they did the very first student-led debate in our state, and that helped them win their ambassador status with the Secretary of State. So the state is talking about Johns Creek. As someone that travels around in the region and in the state, when I say I'm from Johns Creek, this program gets mentioned and people ask about it because of the reputation vegetation in this program. So the graduates have a lot to be proud of. I'm not going to go through all of the schools, as the mayor already took that thunder from me, but I do want to say that to win the Secretary of State Ambassador designation, not only for the region but for the state 2 years in a row, is such an accomplishment. I mean, we're so proud of you and we're proud for you, but you put our city on the map, and that's so significant. But you know, we have really high expectations for this group, and deservedly so. You've given us every reason to expect that you can conquer the world. Thank you in advance, graduates, for all you're going to do to make our world a better place. So all I want to say tonight is congratulations for a job well done so far. Thank you.
My name is Bailey Hebermel, and I go to Centennial High School. Unfortunately, I'm a junior, and student leadership is the only thing that I'm graduating from this year, but when Ms. Sanders asked me to speak about something I've taken away from being in student leadership, I thought I would talk about something I've taken away from last year and this year. I applied to student leadership when I was a freshman because my sister was in it, and she really encouraged me to apply. The first year was not really my favorite year out of the two, however, I still value everything that I learned. Two major things from last year that I still think about are the skills I learned from completing the service project, that main skill, by the way, being time management, and learning what being a leader really means. I'm really glad that that last thought about being taught what a leader means was impressed upon me. Last year we were taught that there's not one definition of a leader. There's not one special trait you must possess in order to be qualified as a leader. This held great importance to me because prior to understanding this, I often compared myself to others and thought, well, I didn't accomplish this or I didn't do that like they did. And I had fallen into this routine of constantly weighing myself with others and thinking that because I didn't have all the same things to my name as they did, there was no way I would ever be a leader. And I was probably led into this program on accident. But being told all this, that leadership isn't something that you're born with, there's not one parameter that accredits a leader. Somebody else's weakness could be your strength. I began to stop analyzing myself and comparing myself to others. This became really important for me moving into my junior year, because that's when life started to get a little serious, and I realized college is not a figment of my future, that's still ways away. And thinking about college is very much a time of thinking about yourself. So moving on to this year, it was really my favorite year. I felt that it really centered around doing things that gave us a jump start on many things. The first thing being LinkedIn. We had set up our own account and were taught how to use it. LinkedIn, as you all know, is really important in the work world, and having a whole account with many people to whom I'm already linked with is really impressive at such a young age. Another thing, my favorite, was the shadowing project. I shadowed an orthopedic surgeon in Louisiana, and that really gave me a lot of insight about what I think I might want to do with my life, even though we all know I'll change my mind next week. However, having that opportunity to be exposed to a real hospital setting was quite intense, but really eye-opening for me. And most kids my age have not had that experience. When I went to the Bone and Joint Clinic and told the nurses I was there to shadow Dr. Broyles, they all asked me what year I was in college and were obviously really shocked when I told them I was only 16 at the time. These two aspects really show you just how valuable and beneficial student leadership has been to me and is to all the students in it, giving us a head start on many things we normally don't even think about until college. Even though I will admit that sometimes I did question the importance of what I was listening to or what I was being told over the last 2 years, it all ended up being fruitful to me. So with that being said, I thank Mrs. Sanders for allowing me into leadership because it has truly impacted my high school journey. And those impacts, I know, will perpetuate into my college journey and my life journey after that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Kriti Gazari, and I'm a senior at Johns Creek High School. Often, we don't notice little changes in ourselves at the moment, but I can definitively say that looking back, these past 2 years in student leadership Johns Creek have helped me grow not only as a leader, but as a person. I've learned what it means to be a leader, what it means to have people look up to you, and what it means to channel your passions into something good for the community. Every opportunity is only as good as we make it.
and I'm grateful to say that through the help of Ms. Sanders and student leadership, I have been given numerous opportunities to get involved in my community, whether that be professionally, politically, or through service initiatives. In my first year, my student leadership group chose to work with Girls Incorporated of Greater Atlanta to host a book drive to help increase literacy among young girls who may not be given the same opportunities as us. Through the year-long service project, we collected over 250 books, and we chose to personally deliver the books to the center. Seeing the smile on the girls' faces showed me that to be a leader, we have to actively give back to our community and inspire a sense of action in others. One of my favorite moments of this program was when I spoke directly to City Council about the importance of taking time out of our schedules to give back, whether that be in small or big ways. Every single program day in student leadership has taught us important skills for the future. In the second year, especially, we created LinkedIn profiles, business cards, and refined our resumes. This helped me learn what it means to be a professional in 2019. However, my favorite project throughout the program was my shadowing project, where I was honored to shadow Commissioner Lynn Riley at the Georgia Department of Revenue. Since I will be majoring in economics in college, learning about economic policy and its wide-ranging implications was very interesting. Finally, through this program, I have been honored to be able to interact with and learn from so many elected officials. This year, I was proud to represent student leadership when we were honored with a proclamation by Representative Couch from House District 50 in the Georgia legislature. Furthermore, as a Secretary of State Ambassador last year and an Assistant Director of the program this year, I have been part of the effort to increase civic and service education in our community. Thank you to Ms. Sanders for encouraging us to always be our best in this program. Thank you to Commissioner Riley for letting me shadow and learn from you. And thank you to all our elected officials and speakers. Congrats to the class of 2019. It's been an honor to be part of such a great group. Thank you.
My name is Manisha Kamori, and I'm a senior at SLJC High School. What does student leadership Johns Creek mean to me? When I entered, I just thought it'd be a resume booster, another line on my college application. But this organization, it is so much more than that. SLJC for me was sitting in the very chairs that you're sitting in, listening to the speakers and waiting for my introduction. It was walking along a wall at the Fulton County Jail, listening to the jeers of the inmates. It was the afternoons the Secretary of State ambassadors met to come up with questions for the City Council and mayoral debates. Chocolate chip cookies in hand. It was playing bingo with the seniors at Sunrise at Johns Creek and hearing their stories. It was a summer internship with Commissioner Riley at the Department of Revenue and shadowing Judge Richardson at the state courthouse. It was carpooling to and from Emory Hospital, avidly discussing what we learned that day. It was building an online profile and realizing that LinkedIn is actually surprisingly helpful. It was learning that you can't fall asleep if you have ice in your mouth while you're driving, and that you should always run in an active shooter situation. It was all of the new friends I've made, the relationships I've built, and the people who've inspired me. It is standing in front of all of you today, a changed woman, a growing woman. So thank you, Student Leadership Johns Creek. Thank you, Mrs. Sanders and Ms. Nagler, and all of my classmates, and everybody who made this program possible. The unforgettable memories and little moments. That's what Student Leadership Johns Creek means to me. Thank you. And congratulations to Dr. Chan.
Hello everyone, I'm Anirudh Gupta, a senior at Northview High School. As both high school and SLJC are coming to an end this year, I've been reflecting on my experiences in SLJC and how SLJC has prepared me for leaving the comforts of high school and my life ahead. To think that this all began one summer afternoon with a nervous bunch of kids in an escape room. The skills needed in that escape room were a glimpse of all the life skills like teamwork, communication, organization, and leadership that we would improve through SLJC. By learning from experts on leadership skills, participating in teamwork building activities, organizing the first student-led mayoral and city council debates in Georgia as part of the Secretary of State Ambassadors Program, shadowing Ms. Greer, the Assistant City Manager, volunteering at Drake House's after-school program, I've become a much more confident leader through SLJC. Additionally, SLJC has given me exposure to one of my career passions. From the Secretary of State Ambassador Program and shadow experience, I gained exposure into my passion of politics and public policy, furthering my goal of running for United States Senator someday. In SLJC, I've met great friends who are driven to excel not only in their careers, but also as leaders helping their community. I think we would all agree that SLJC has been an integral part of our high school experience and has greatly shaped us into becoming better, inspiring leaders. One of the major aspects of SLJC, which I think we can learn from, is to stay committed to one of your undertakings and pursue that wholeheartedly. At the beginning of each year, we sign on to attend all the meetings. And sometimes fate can be ironic. On the last program day, while everyone was in Emory John Street Hospital in the conference room, somehow fate had it so I was four floors above them, recovering from my appendectomy surgery that I had the day before. So maybe I just love SLJC that much, or maybe that's just commitment that happens sometimes. To my friends, congratulations on all your successes in high school and all the best for your future adventures. You guys truly are the smartest, most inspiring group of people I've encountered. I would like to thank Ms. Sanders, for without her passion and commitment in helping us, this program would not have left such an indelible impact on me. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to vote for me in 2015.
Good evening. My name is Max Lucas and I attend Centennial High School. I think my most memorable experience from student leadership has been getting to shadow and spend the day with Dr. Toby at Georgia Tech. I'm now happy to introduce the new class of Centennial, class of 2021. The members include Evan Albright, Tamara McDuffie, and Leslie Gillespie.
Good evening. My name is Nick Newberg.
And I'm Sarah McWhorter.
I attend Johns Creek High School. One of my favorite lessons I learned from student leadership at Johns Creek would probably be the effective resume building. I was able to attach my resume that I built with Johns Creek student leadership to my college applications, and in a recent interview I was able to use it as well. I'm happy to introduce and welcome the Johns Creek class of 2021. The members include Sam Beagle, Clara Choi, Emily Corey, Elizabeth Douglas, Catherine Hammer, Asa Hawkins, who was unable to attend this evening, Omid Kalan, and Siddharth Kawaja.
I also attend Johns Creek High School, and one of my favorite memories from the program days was the LinkedIn training that we conducted, and that really helped me put together a successful online portfolio to help me appeal to colleges and as well as to future employers. I would like to introduce more members from the Johns Creek class of 2021. Lydia Grace Logan, Luke Michaelis, Katie Reed, Anushka Sharma, Arya Sheth, Allison
Allison Swift, Margaret Way, and Harley Yin. Congratulations, everyone.
My name is Sid Balaga, and I attend SLJC High School. One of my favorite memories about student leadership at Johns Creek was the shadowing project and getting to work with various professional leaders across the state of Georgia. With that being said, I'm happy to introduce and welcome the SLJC class of 2021. The members include Medini Anand, Ashley Ilum, Dar Elmasenko, Michelle Ho, Sneha Jayanti, Esther Kim, Gayatri Kumar, and Riley Kidd.
Good evening. My name is Amelia Osgood, and I also attend SLJC High School. One of my favorite parts about student leadership at Johns Creek has been the shadowing position at Coca-Cola this fall. I am happy to introduce and welcome the SLJC class of 2021. The members include Betty Blow, Aditi Mohan, Adav Prabhu, Praneeth Kota, Julia Scott, Olivia Schaefer, Apoorva Sharma, Sneha Talam, Allison Yao, and Akila Yelapragada.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shashank Ganeshan, and I'm a senior at Northview High School. One of my favorite moments with SLJC would have to be my shadowing project. And the reason being is that my shadowing mentor gave me two big pieces of advice: develop a LinkedIn profile, create a resume. But he didn't know that I had done both of those things through SLJC. And in that moment, I realized that this program has done a lot for me in giving me a head start in my journey as a professional and young leader.
Good evening. My name is Madison Brown. I'm a junior at Northview High School. One of my favorite things about student leadership at Johns Creek was how they encouraged us to go outside our comfort zone with projects like our group project our first year and our shadowing project our second year.
And now we're happy to introduce and welcome the Northview class of 2021. The members include Noreen Ali, Navia Binji, Ashutosh Chakravarti, Edward Chen, Anika Dahia, Tina Don, Adi Gupta, and Eileen Laselio.
Anish Nair, Janice Nam, Naomi Shaw, Samay Shaw, Samaj Sheikh, Sneha Sharma,
Anshi Vajpayee, and Julie Wu. We'd now like to welcome all elected officials and special guests to the stage to take a picture with the incoming class.
Good evening. My name is and I attend Centennial High School. One of my favorite memories from student leadership at Johns Creek was the poverty simulation that we did with all 4 schools. In that simulation, we were able to see what life was like without having the money for the necessities of life. Although it was a simulation, it was very eye-opening for all of us, considering that we don't live in a scenario like this. It touched many of us in our hearts and makes us want to donate even more often to help the people in need. Meeting new people from other schools is also something I enjoy doing. I'm happy to introduce Centennial Group 1 from class of 2020. The members include Marissa Fish, Alex Green, Ariel Harper, Jayla Melvin, and Wilson Williams.
We're the Centennial Group 1, and we did a project on an animal shelter called For Kids, and this is our video.
I'm the vet tech here at Her Kids Dog Shelter. We also have a cat shelter, which I also work at, and I go down there sometimes for dog surgeries. But basically what I take care of is any sick animals that become ill or they come in ill in our care, as well as just giving their introduction vetting. But we do rely on volunteers heavily for walking and helping clean and helping do like laundry and dishes and things like that. Otherwise, we need cleaning products, office products. That's usually the more expensive and less available. That's usually the things we have to go out and buy. Mostly cleaning products and office supplies and then blankets and food are the big ones. I think most people aren't aware of is that if you find a stray dog, you actually have to surrender it to animal control. We can't take it straight up. What we do though is after that dog has been held in animal control, whether that be Gwinnett County or Cobb County or Walton County or Georgia, those county animal controls is where we go to pull dogs. So once the dog's in the feeder stable, nobody's come and claim the dog. We say, okay, we want this one, this one, this one, this one. It's usually pull a few dogs at a time, and then we pull them onto the van and drive the little fur van all the way down here, and then we start the vetting process and getting them introduced. And then if you're an owner, if you do own your dog and you come to surrender it, we will consider based on space if we can take that dog, we'll take it that way.
When I came to Fur Kids, I wasn't really sure what to expect. But at the end, I learned that leadership is an important skill needed in order to work with animals.
Well, before coming to the organization, I wasn't really sure what to expect. But I realized it was a lot of hard work and dedication to the job to keep the dogs safe and clean and to get them prepared for their owners in the future.
Hi, I'm Lisa. This is Liberty, and I am the foster with Fur Kids. Liberty is coming back from spending a little bit over a week at my house with her 2 puppies. And she was an owner surrender, which means her owner decided that she no longer could take care of her. She became pregnant at like 7 months herself. She's just a teen mom. And she gave birth to these 2 beautiful puppies right here, a little tan puppy and a little dark puppy. And it is so important to adopt because when you buy dogs from pet stores, you support horrible breeding practices. And there are some reputable breeders out there, but make sure you do your research if you're going to adopt from a breeder. Coming to a rescue is a way to ensure that you get a dog who really needs a home. It's a way to ensure that all of our dogs in the rescue are spayed and neutered, and it's a way to support that, and that minimizes the number of unwanted dogs in society. And you can get wonderful dogs like Liberty and Fur Pups if you adopt from Fur Kids or otherwise.
now in high school and volunteering, kind of just learning the drills and helping them find themselves as far as
Johns Creek High School. Before I begin, I'd just like to wish a happy birthday to the area superintendent and my mom, Kitty Crumbly. She's over there in the back. If you see her after the ceremony, make sure to wish her a happy 23rd birthday. One of the most important opportunities I've been given at SLJC is the guidance to create my own professional website. This is especially important to me because I'm an art student and need a platform to present my 2D and 3D portfolio effectively. With the help of the standards, I was able to create an awesome personal website, which allowed me to distinguish myself when applying for honors like my Fine Arts Diploma seal. I'm happy to introduce Johns Creek Group 1 from the class of 2020. The members include Samantha Breslow, Liam Friedel, David C., Garji Jamadagni, Kian Kermani, and Amir Khan.
We are Johns Creek High School Group 1. Alright, this year we had the pleasure of working with State Bridge Crossing Elementary Student Council. When we were thinking of a service project, something we all were adamant about was the passing on of our knowledge as well as making an impact on our community. And we thought, well, what better way to do this than working with the newer generation of the future of this community. So, continuing the traditions that others have done before us, we worked with State Bridge Crossing Student Council, building a curriculum incorporating lessons and games to teach valuable leadership skills. We went from basic concepts such as how to simply work together and how to do basic communication to things like goal setting and synergy. And Gargi, experience?
So at the beginning, the students were a little bit reluctant to participate, and they didn't really embrace the idea of learning leadership skills with us. But after the first couple icebreakers that we did, they were really excited to see what came next. So what we did was we did carry out a traditional vertical setting in the classroom, but instead we tried to go with a more hands-on approach and use games and 2 or 3 slide presentations to teach them. We guided the students towards recognizing the ways that they use this skill in their daily life and outside the classroom. So by doing this, they were able to find many other areas outside of the classroom to apply these skills. After carrying out our first session, we kind of gauged how well they were already using these skills, and then we made it our goal to show them how to harness these skills in order to use them more efficiently. So since we started this project, we've seen a lot of improvement in the students, and it's been really cool.
Yeah, after working with these same kids for the past 5 months and until the end of this year, I've really gotten to know their personalities, and it's really been a joy working with all of them, getting to know what their goals are, getting to know what their situations are. It's been really fulfilling for all of us here.
I've also gotten to know the students pretty well, and I'm really thankful to Student Leadership Johns Creek and to Ms. Sanders for giving us the opportunity to mentor these students.
And here are just some clips we gathered from the many days of us working with them. So, for example, this is one of the communication games we did. It's been on telephone. Usually throughout our lessons, we spend the beginning doing an icebreaker, and we incorporated that into a lesson, a leadership skill for them to learn. So each day had its own specific lesson. That's really cool.
Good evening. My name is Evan Penn and I attend Johns Creek High School. One memory from SLJC that stands out
is when someone came from the Johns Creek Traffic Department, and he actually talked to us about his job as a traffic engineer, and he talked about traffic lights and traffic circles and traffic cycles and other things like that. And what's exciting is I actually used what I learned that day a few weeks later, because I was driving to school one day, and one of the lights just was simply not turning red, and I was, not turning green, sorry. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, if there's someone I can call, because I knew that there was someone who actually exists that is a traffic engineer from Johns Creek. So I called them, and they said, oh, we just checked, you're right, that light is out of sync. So then they sent someone there right away, and it just felt really exciting that student leadership has helped me become more active and a more contributive member of Johns Creek. Yeah, that's great. Anyways, and so I'm excited to introduce Johns Creek Group 2 from class of 2020. The members include Ronak Kumar, Ethan Ngoya, Sanjan Parikh, Viraj Ranganekar, Olivia Sanford, and Nikhil Upal. Thank you.
Hello, we are Johns Creek Group 2, and this is our meeting.
Utilize local infrastructure like sidewalks and such, so they could get active early in the morning and reduce traffic and emissions. And so what we did was we worked together to get sponsors from different grocery stores and local businesses like Grape Harvest, so we could get snacks for the parents and the children once they got to school. And while we were there, we handed out Johns Creek swag, like pencils and stuff like that, to produce like a more hype feel for the kids, so they had like a really good time while we were there.
Yeah, the one thing I really liked about the Walk to School initiative was that we really got to see all the community get together in the morning. We really got to see a lot of like communities coming together, because if one kid's parents couldn't take them, another one would volunteer. And I really like to see in the morning, you see all these groups of kids who are actually laughing and having a good time with their friends.
Also, as we One of the things was the lack of communication and preparation. We didn't really know that it would take such a long amount of time to get sponsorships, and my partner Ethan and I were in charge of that, and we had some sponsorships drop before our project for one of the days, so we had to get creative and find other ways, and also Chris Coughlin, our councilman who helped us along, helped us and get other sponsors, and yeah.
Along with the sponsorship crises, we also learned how to communicate a lot. Like, my job was communication, so I helped stay in contact with Councilman Coughlin and Ms. Gutierrez and Paulus from Georgia State Schools. And I also stayed in communication with the principals of the elementary schools, and that really helped me learn a lot about how to take charge of the situation and have leadership and be able to communicate with people who are older than me and have different positions.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adika Dada, and I'm a junior at Chattahoochee High School. So before I introduce Chattahoochee Group 1, I would like to mention a valuable lesson I learned during my group's community project last year. So we formed a 5K run, whose proceeds went to Northview community charities. It was extremely challenging to actually form a 5K run from a simple idea, but the money we raised in the end helped us learn something valuable. So when you extend a helping hand through service, it not only supports people in need, but it also makes you feel good, knowing that you influence someone positively. So because of this lesson that student leadership gave me, I can proudly say that our group took a crazy idea and was able to make it into a continuing reality that is influencing people positively today. With that being said, I'm very happy to introduce Chattahoochee Group 1 from the class of 2020. The members of this group include Drew Anand, Kaylin D'Souza, Joseph Flagler, Eliza Imhoff, Linda Jawahar, and Will Johnson. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing tonight? So, our group, we call it Hang Out with Hooch, and we mainly centered around our mission of helping patients and people with Alzheimer's. And we did this through two ways. Number one was volunteering at the Memory Center in Johns Creek, and number two was through a fundraiser at the local Chipotle.
My name is Kaylin. Our experience at the Memory Center was really great, and it was so nice to connect with the elderly residents of our community. As we organized this project, it really enhanced our collaborative skills, and as we fundraised for Alzheimer's research through Chipotle, we really understood the importance of marketing. Overall, it was so great to see so many members of the community come together to support our cause and see the impact we made.
Good evening, my name is Linda Jawahar. I just want to say how lucky I am to be a part of SLJC as they let me see another way of leadership. I think our favorite part of this entire project was just interacting and conversing with the seniors, because they told us some mom stories, like hashtag couple goals type stories. We learned some love stories, we learned some stories about their families, and stories about like how their jobs and their lives were before. And when they started repeating the stories, we realized that that's all they knew. Their happy moments is all we could remember, and it made us realize that we should live our best every day, because sometimes, and that's what we're doing through leadership, as we're going and servicing for others.
Hi, my name is Eliza Imhoff. We learned so much about leadership through this project. We had to learn how to come together and work together to get the job done, and we really learned that if we're not all equally invested, the job doesn't get done. Another thing that we learned was how to work with different leadership styles, because we're all different people with different ways of getting projects done. So we came together, used our differences as benefits, and got the job done.
Hi, my name is Will, and through our time at the Memory Center, I learned that just taking even an hour out of your day just to do something so small as just to talk to someone, especially these people with Alzheimer's, who just they just appreciated it so much, and it was really heartwarming just to see how much they really appreciated us being there. I learned so much through them, I loved hearing their stories. I could go back 1,000 times. I could do it every day, really. And yeah, thank you, Ms. Sanders. She puts in so much work. Thank you, the Memory Center, and it was a great experience.
Okay. Hi, my name is Joseph Flagler, and all in all, I'd just like to thank Ms. Wall, Ms. Sanders, and the Memory Center for helping us prosper through this project, helping us complete it and get it done as a team of young leaders of Johns Creek.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Donnie Gu, and I attend SLJC High School. Now, one of my favorite memories about student leadership at Johns Creek was actually from last year's graduation ceremony, when, similar to right now, our audio also malfunctioned. Now, after panicking, after a lot of panicking actually, we decided that, well, we didn't decide, we had to ad-lib our presentations. We had to come up with things to say on the spot. Similar to how I decided to scrap my whole speech about the LinkedIn guy, Bert Halter, when I was over there, and I decided to talk about this sound malfunction. I said, that was actually before the sound cut out here, so I didn't actually know this was going to happen. And so, why is this important to me? Why is this memorable? Well, it's simple, actually. It shows that SLJC is always giving us opportunities to learn, giving us ways to prove ourselves, and always challenging us, even when they're not trying to. Now, I'm happy to introduce Chattahoochee Group 2 from class of 2020. The members include Siri Kankala, Malika Kankari, Natasha Mohanty, Lindsay Morris, Meghana Panaguchi, and Anastasia Viryansi.
With Taylor Road Junior Beta. This project focused mainly on the safety of those traveling the road and the animals that live along the road, as well as the aesthetic value of the road, and basically in all the protection of the environment of Johns Creek. Another major focus was increasing student pride for the campus, because having respect for the school and its atmosphere will make students more willing to protect their atmosphere in the future, and will also make them better role models for their peers.
To get volunteers, we reached out to Mr. Parker and Ms. Murphy, the teacher sponsors of Taylor Road Middle School Junior Beta. Working in partnership with them helped us develop better communication and organizational skills, and we managed to get about 25 students to volunteer for our event.
At the event itself, we strengthened our leadership skills and worked together to guide our volunteers, breaking them off into groups and assigning them locations to work on. We also had to learn how to communicate effectively to the students and motivate those who got cold or tired as they worked.
Altogether, we cleaned up about 25 bags of trash from the Chattahoochee campus, the Nature Trail, the Taylor Road campus, and Taylor Road itself. It was really rewarding to see the work we'd accomplished, the pride of the students who came out to help us, and to receive gratitude from Mr. Parker and Ms. Murphy. At first, we had our doubts about how many people came. However, a large group of students participated. We had doubts about middle schoolers listening and following our directions, but they did as they were told and helped make the event go smoothly. This event has taught us very valuable moments of leadership, because without the ability to direct the students and compassion and determination, this event wouldn't have run as smoothly as it did.
We successfully accomplished our goals, and we fully accomplished our goals and are very happy with the impact that we were able to make on our school.
The event ran smoothly, even despite the cloudy weather, and we were very productive. It was overall a really rewarding experience because we traveled the road almost every day and we were physically able to see the impact we made.
After the event, we reached out to local news organizations in hopes of spreading our message of caring for your community and for the environment. We hope that our project really inspired the students who worked with us and others in Johns Creek to continue working to make our community a safer and cleaner place to live. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Nathaniel, and I'm a senior at Northview High School. I have to say that one of the most important lessons I've learned from student leadership Johns Creek has definitely been the importance of interdependence. Many of us leaders here are known for our go-getter personalities, and as such, it is our nature to work independently and reject offers of help from others. However, from keeping our households from foreclosure and the poverty simulation, to controlling the movements of the helium state as a group, SLJC has done a great job of teaching us how we high achievers can only achieve higher when we consolidate our individual talents. Over the last 2 years, I have been inspired by so many of my peers and their passions in this program, and being able to rely on others is a skill I think we all should value as we transgress into the adult world as budding politicians, lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, or what have you. Now I am happy to introduce Northview's Group 1 from the class of 2020. The members include Kiran Balakrishnan, Pallavi Aramra, Sarah Herb, Mehek Jain, Sally Alamayo, Nikita Joshi, and Sherry Song. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sherry Singh, and I'm a member of Northview Group 1. For our service project, we partnered with a nonprofit organization, Focus Plus Fragile Kids, an organization that helps disabled children and those with special needs. For our service project, we organized a toy drive and volunteered at one of the organization's events, and we are very proud of both our toy drive and our volunteering efforts.
Over the course of 4 months, we collected over 150 toys for our toy drive. We collected new and gently used toys, stuffed animals, chocolates, and stamps and stickers. We decided to hold a toy drive because Focus was an organization that served kids, and they also had a shortage of toys.
As a part of our community project, we were honored to attend Focus's Valentine's Day party. At the party, we were able to see how kids and parents interacted with each other, and it was a very rewarding experience for all of us. Not just for us though, but also for the kids and parents that were there. After interviewing Lucy Cusick, the executive director of Focus, we learned that parents and kids really cherish these kind of events because it helps them and gives them the opportunity to interact with other families going through the same kind of struggles.
Also during the Valentine's Day party, we were able to play bingo with the kids, lead dances on the dance floor, take pictures at the photo booth, and also help kids make Valentines for their families. During this project, it was inspiring to see people from completely different backgrounds come together to celebrate. Rather than being hindered by the challenges of raising a child with special needs, the families we met continue to exhibit strength and perseverance. Their positive outlook on life really impacted us and is something we can all do.
In order for us to work and communicate efficiently with Focus, we had to listen to their needs, be flexible, and work in a timely manner. Although at times planning both a large Valentine's Day party and organizing the toy drive may have been challenging, we were still able to set out what we had started to do.
Even though this project has ended, we still hope to continue our service with Focus as this experience has inspired us to
give more to the special deserving individuals around us. We're so grateful to have met these kids through SLJC and to brighten their days as they've more than brightened ours. Thank you.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Roy Pan, I'm a junior at Northview High School. Being a part of Student Leadership Johns Creek has been especially beneficial to me because it has revealed the hard truths about leadership. That leadership is isolating and is not for the faint of heart, which makes building up mutualistic relationships based on the foundation of respect and set values that much more important. And Ms. Sanders and everyone at Student Leadership Johns Creek, our program leaders over the years and my peers have taught me that while success is for myself, significance is for others. And we'll take that knowledge as a class of 2019 after we graduate from Student Leadership Johns Creek for pursuing our future endeavors. But for now, I'm so happy to introduce Northview Group 2 from the class of 2020. Its members include Sumant Kadiala, Ishan Carmel, Yasmin Shalim, Julia Oyang, Colt Drew, Kaya Preet, and Ann Phillip.
Good evening, we're Northview Group 2, and we partnered with the Foster Care Support Foundation for our community service project.
And here's our video.
Well, my husband and I were fostering kids. We fostered 50 children, and every time they came in our home, they came with nothing but the clothes on the back. And we were fine caring for those kids because we had our 4 children we were raising, and we were great that we were able to do that. But we did help them, we heard from a lot of people that would say, gee, I'd love to help with foster, but I can't afford to get out-of-pocket expense. Say a pool of parents who want to look out who don't want to foster.
Exactly.
So we thought if we had a resource that the community could get involved, because people would say, how can I help? I don't want to be a foster parent. I'm like, okay, all the proceeds from that come back into here.
Okay, but the purpose and the mission of Foster Care Support Foundation is to
provide basic care needs to displaced children, children that are pulled from their families because of abuse, neglect, deprivation. They're either placed in a foster care home or they're placed with grandparents and relatives. If they're placed with a foster care home, they get a stipend, they get a per diem, and they get a lot of resources, but we still provide them a full seasonal wardrobe with clothes and toys and safe and infant equipment. If they're placed with a relative, a lot of times they're placed with a relative, say grandparent, in the courts, so they never really go through the DFACS program, and they don't get any stipends. So unlike foster parents who are saying, hey, let's foster, maybe we can get to adopt, the grandparents and the relatives are saying, we have to take our grandchildren because if we don't, we're never going to see them again. And we'll lose them to foster care and adoption. Statistics show that they do much better if they were family. As long as it's good. That's tough to do. We really should be operating on a $2 million budget. We don't have it, so we're limited in how much we can do. We have 12 to 15 staff leading 11,000 or more volunteers.
Our group's partnership with Foster Care Support Foundation was a combination of 5 hands-on volunteering days at their center in Roswell, Georgia, as well as the running of 2 donation drives in which, for our first drive, we collected 46 packs of underwear, 560 books, and 1,056 pairs of socks. And in our second drive, a total of 139 swimsuits, boys' khakis, and dress shirts, as well as summer pajamas. It's hard to choose a singular activity we did as the most relevant because they all have their own significance. From childcare in the nursery, to sorting and organizing donations in the warehouse, to assisting shoppers, and even dropping off our own carloads of supplies. Each content area was so crucial. Our overall group experience was not only eye-opening, but memorable and motivating. We got to see firsthand a nonprofit organization that is improving the lives of foster children all across Georgia, and that was amazing.
My name is Sherry Sang, and I'm one of Student Leadership Johns Creek's Secretary of State Ambassadors. On stage with me are the other ambassadors, Amir Khan, Andrew Chakravirti, David C., Eliza Einhoff, Jenny Liu, Nikita Joshi, Sid Galaga, Suraj Paramanu, and our team's Assistant Director, Kriti Magari. As Mr. Raffensperger said at the beginning of this program, the Secretary of State's Ambassador Program is a statewide competition where teams of students from different schools and leadership programs across Georgia earn points for promoting civic engagement in their communities. Student Leadership Johns Creek Secretary of State Ambassadors team has always been very strong, and for the past 2 years, we have won the statewide competition. And this year, we finished with more than 1,300,000 points, which is 80,000 points further than the team in second place. And of course, we are very happy to have won the competition for the second year in a row, but we are prouder of what we have done to help the Johns Creek community through this program. Throughout the school year, we organized many events to improve civic engagement in our community. In September, we hosted a voter registration drive at OC Library, and in October, we hosted and organized a candidates debate for House Seat District 50 at this very school, where over 250 people were in attendance. We also organized and spoke at various educational seminars around the community, such as the monthly Chai Chats hosted by Nazira Baywood and a college planning seminar. Because of the Secretary of State Ambassadors Program, we have all learned to be better leaders. Planning these various events has taught us persistence and dedication. And we have also learned to be better speakers and to more effectively communicate our thoughts and ideas to others. But most importantly, being Secretary of State Ambassadors has taught us the importance of serving the community. With our October debate, for example, we were able to give many students and other citizens of Johns Creek greater insight into community issues and problems. The debate was really successful, and we were able to see firsthand the positive impact that we had made upon our community. And we are very grateful to this program for giving us so many opportunities throughout the school year to get involved with Johns Creek. Of course, none of our accomplishments would have been possible without the people helping us. So we would like to thank Ms. Judy LaFay, Ms. Weil, and the Johns Creek Community Association for their support and guidance. And finally, we would like to thank Ms. Sanders for being a wonderful leader and always being there for us. We have enjoyed a great year as this year's SLJC Secretary of State Ambassadors, and all of us look forward to seeing what next year's ambassadors will accomplish. Thank you.
I'm a senior here at Northview High School. Although today we've come here to celebrate all of the incoming and graduating student leaders, it's also important to recognize all of the leaders who have worked tirelessly and devoted so much time to the program behind the scenes. Today I'd like to thank someone who's become a good friend of mine and an amazing mentor over the last 2 years, Mr. Roger Wise. Mr. Wise has been a part of student leadership at Johns Creek for the last 7 years, helping many students just like me thrive. I remember last year, during Government Day, being inspired by Mr. Wise as we followed him around the Capitol, and he explained to us the importance of our participation in our community. I will always remember Mr. Wise's concept of paying back civic rent, and I will use it as a backbone for what I do for my city, my state, and my country. In fact, it was this idea that got me interested in serving my country by attending United States Military Academy, West Point. I remember working tirelessly with Mr. Wise to perfect my application for my nomination and for the Academy. Having his support throughout this entire process has been incredible, and I look forward to visiting him and sharing stories with him when I get back from West Point. Today, I'm glad that Student Leadership Johns Creek introduced me to Mr. Mr. Wise. I cherish being able to sit down with him anytime to hear him talk about his stories of being in the armed forces, and just to listen to a man so devoted to his friends and his family. So tonight, I, on behalf of the student leadership of Johns Creek, would like to say thank you to Mr. Roger Wise for everything he has done for me, as well as for the program, and presenting him an award.
I'll accept this on behalf of Roger. Go ahead and leave a little early.
Good evening. My name is Jayla Melvin, and I attend Centennial High School. One of my favorite memories from student leadership was visiting the Fulton County Supreme Court. I'm happy to introduce Mr. Tim Corrigan, Fulton County Superintendent of Fulton County, and Ms. Stephanie Indras, Johns Creek City Council person, who will be awarding certificates of completion and graduation cords to the graduating class of 2019.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Drew Bonnet, and I'm currently a sophomore at Chattahoochee High School. So far, one of my favorite memories with SLJC has been the program day where we learned more about our personalities and how that can affect our career choices. As a people person, I always found it very interesting as to how my behaviors can affect my decisions and how I can work to make them more effective in a professional setting. I'll hand the mic over to my friend here.
Hi, my name is Malika Pinker. I'm also a sophomore at Chattahoochee High School. The entire SLJC experience has been really rewarding, but I'd say one of my personal favorite memories was Government Day, where I saw firsthand the workings of the different branches of government, and it made it more personal for me, rather than learning about government in the classroom, because I got to see it with my own eyes.
We are both very happy to announce the class of 2019 graduates from our school. The members include Safian Park, who is currently unable to join us because she is at a mandatory visit for incoming students at the University of California, Berkeley. Amelia Osgood. Suraj Paramanu. Shrita Sengupta. Bree Stabler. And Cindy Kumbi.
Erin Chang, who is currently unavailable because she's at a multitasking school board meeting, she recognized as selling for Adiba Dada. Donnie Gu. Venetia Kudumori. And Emily Gu, who is currently at a college visit. Her sister Betty will be joining us this evening to represent her.
Raffensperger, and I'm a junior at Johns Creek High School. An important lesson I learned from student leadership Johns Creek was how to step up and take charge as a leader when necessary, but also a really important goal is to work effectively with a group to reach your common goals and really important.
Good evening. My name is Nick Opal, and I attend Johns Creek High School as well. One of my favorite experiences with student leadership at Johns Creek was a program day where we learned about our leadership strength with the Gallup test, which is a really common test that's used in the corporate world nowadays. It's really good to have experience and exposure to this at a young age. With that said, very happy.
I am happy to introduce and congratulate the Johns Creek class of 2019. The members include Samantha Paul, Ryan Clapper, Cece Crumbly, Aranya Gupta, and Kriti Kadari.
I'm happy to introduce Nancy Gupta, our regular opening.
Good evening. My name is Carter Smith, and I attend Centennial High School. One of my favorite memories about student leadership at Johns Creek was the group projects. I'm happy.
Good evening. My name is Marissa Fish, and I also attend Centennial High School. One of my favorite program days throughout the course of student leadership at Johns Creek was the poverty simulation, in which we learned what life is like for many families who live under the poverty line. Now, we are happy to introduce and congratulate the Centennial Class of 2019. The members include Madison Ryan, Bailey Ramil, Rain Hill, Jenny Liu,
Max Lucas, Will McCall, Elijah Medway, Sumir Namaz, Alan Swigert, and Brady Williams.
Good evening. My name is Yasmin Shalom, and I attend Northview High School. One of my favorite memories about student leadership at Johns Creek was our group project where we helped make a difference in our community through the Foster Care Support Foundation, as well as project management skills.
Hi, my name is Pallavi Aaron, and I attend Northview High School as well. My favorite memory with SLJC was doing the AT&T senior device program, and it was really fun to see them accomplish all their new device screens and stuff.
I am happy to introduce and congratulate the Northview class of 2019. The members include Halsey On, Nathaniel Alameu, Madison Brown, Amshi Chakrabarti, Shashank Nation, and Goodby Gopal Krishnan.
Our class also includes Neha Gugaraj, Anira Gupta, Caitlin Jones, Anuja Casa, Rory Pan, and Lydia Nicholas.
And this is the class of 2019.
teamwork exercises to visiting our state capital, SLJC has been an adventure. I remember in my first year of SLJC, my project team chose to help the Johns Creek Police Department revamp their community outreach program. Billy Badge. For those of you that don't know, Billy Badge is the local crime-fighting mascot that teaches children everyday safety principles, such as how to call 911, what to do if they're lost, and how to cross the street. Think of the program as a modern-day McGruff the Crime Dog. Anyway, we filmed a series of videos for the project starring Billy, and of course, that consisted of someone getting into the large mascot suit. I don't quite remember volunteering for this position, but I will always remember that day in the suit. Just like how I will always remember the SLJC and all that it has done for me. The one thing I have to say to the incoming students is this: use what you learn here in your future endeavors. Use the LinkedIn that you create in second year to connect with people. Use your job shadowing contacts to network
and find something that you're interested in doing in your field. I believe that what we learn in SLJC will make us the leaders of tomorrow. I would like to thank the staff and volunteers that have provided this opportunity for me and my peers. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Olivia Logan, and I'm a senior at Johns Creek High School. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. As any little girl, she dreamed of very big things. She dreamed of becoming a princess, or a famous pop star. She dreamed of going on a big secret adventure. On her 11th birthday, she was waiting very patiently for that Hogwarts letter. But she also dreamed of changing the world. Well, middle school came along, and oh goodness, let's not go there. You remember that time in like 6th grade when you were holding your little Bear Bradley lunchbox that your mom packed with a napkin that had some embarrassing note in it? Or if you're a guy, maybe you were too cool, so you bought cafeteria food back when it was better. And so you were standing there ready to eat, but wondering where to sit. You know, scanning the noisy lunchroom and thinking, hey guys, anyone want to sit with me? Or just those times where you feel so small and insignificant. So this little girl was going through the same things. And naturally, when she entered high school, she joined every club in existence because, hey, maybe she could change the world with a video game club. Well, sophomore year came around, and she was watching the school news, and something interesting popped up. It was a segment on student leadership at Johns Creek. She heard something along the lines of, you can learn to build a professional resume. And more importantly, you can skip, miss school, and eat free food. So she applied. Now, don't get me wrong. She did miss school, but it was an excused absence. And she did eat free food. But second years, I hope you've realized by now that this is not just a check-the-box kind of organization. And first years, sorry guys, you will be challenged. You will have months to complete a project, and you will email Ms. Sanders at 11:59 p.m. on the last possible day it's due. But more importantly, you will learn how to dream big again. You're all bright students. Hopefully you know by now that I was that little girl who joined student leadership at Johns Creek. And hopefully you can see that it really did change my perspective on this world that's not as big and confusing as it may seem at first glance. Student leadership is an incredible organization, and there are many incredible people who make it happen, particularly Ms. Sanders. Take the time to get to know her, because she's always willing to help. Whether when quite literally fearing for my life while visiting the Fulton County Jail, coding an online IRA distribution form as part of my shadow project, or moderating at a student-led Johns Creek City Council and mayoral debate, student leadership became the big adventure that little Olivia was always waiting for. So, will you make it yours? Thank you so much, and congratulations to the graduating class, the incoming first years, and all the SLJC students. You guys really deserve it.
Good evening, student leaders, parents, and guests. My name is Suraj Paramanu, and I am a junior at Chattahoochee High School. Student leadership at Johns Creek has been an incredible experience for me and my fellow peers. From the start of the program, we as student leaders have been given a wonderful opportunity to develop our leadership skills and find what we are truly passionate about through a number of captivating lectures and engaging projects, such as our most recent project where we shadowed a job that we desire to do in the future. Through these lectures, activities, and projects, SLJC has done something incredibly wonderful that many other student programs across the country fail to achieve: empowering the youth. Here at Student Leadership at Johns Creek, we are listened to. We can take the reins on community service projects, and we can always create opportunities on new ways to help Johns Creek. In my 2 years that I've been here, I had been given the opportunity to help organize and moderate a public forum debate for District 50 state representative debate. participate in voter drives where we encourage many to vote in the recent midterms, and speak out at our local city council meeting about what I truly value, immersing myself in local politics for the first time. I have witnessed other student leaders organize book drives for local elementary schools, host 5K runs at their local schools to raise money for incredible charities such as UNICEF, pick up trash all across the city to keep our streets clean, and organize many other wonderful events that help shape our community for the better. Throughout my experience and our experience, I can confirm that student leadership at Johns Creek has successfully bridged the gap between youth involvement and our community. Student leadership has truly elevated Johns Creek, a city where people, no matter who they are, will always be given an opportunity to help. Finally, I would like to thank student leadership of Johns Creek for giving me the opportunity to be part of their wonderful program, every other student leader here who made these 2 years amazing with their passion and kindness. And most importantly, I would like to thank Ms. Sanders, because if it wasn't for her, this program and our experiences here would not have been the same. Her hard work and dedication made this program a great experience for everyone. Her guidance and motivation helped us find our passion and got us more and more involved within the community. Without her, this program would not have been as great as what it is today. And I'm truly honored to be a student leader, especially for the great city of Johns Creek. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I want to begin by saying thank you to Ms. Sanders and to all the other wonderful people whose unwavering support and expert guidance helped the class of 2019 prepare for everything the career world has to offer. I hope we've made you proud of their accomplishments, projects, and activities that would not have been possible without this fantastic environment that encouraged us to try new things and embrace every opportunity we get. 2 years ago, college seemed to me, and I'm sure to many of my fellow classmates, like the end. Once I made it, that was it. The rest of my life would magically fall into place. Now, it feels like the first step towards my dream job, a career that suits my interests and personality and capitalizes on my strengths. I'm armed with advice to hit the ground running, making the most of the next chapter of my life. After the first year of meeting the people and programs that help our community prosper, I was dying to know where I would fit in. But the second year was the real eye-opener for me, and I hope everyone in my class had a shadowing experience as amazing as mine. Ms. Sanders connected me to the head of school and teacher services at the High Museum of Art. I spent the entire day learning about my favorite artworks in the museum and interviewing specialists who seemed to be personally guiding me with specific instructions for navigating college and the museum career world, as if to ensure I would find my way back to them. The exhibitions registrar entertained me with exciting stories of babysitting paintings, accompanying them on international journeys as well as maintaining their security at home, and the curator of photography spent an extra hour with me, detailing every fascinating aspect of assembling a gallery and how his own experiences as a photographer helped him create an impactful presentation. I didn't even realize just how much the connections I made through my shadowing project are worth cherishing until I returned to the High Museum a few months later and was immediately recognized by several staff members, interest in the fields I observed, and now the future seems a lot less mysterious and a lot more exciting. On behalf of the class of 2019, I would like to congratulate the newest members of SLJC. I hope you challenge yourselves, take notes, and take advantage of everything this amazing program has to offer.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Clapper, and I attend Johns Creek High School, and I'm a senior. One of my favorite memories from student leadership Johns Creek was the day on our government day when we got to tour the Fulton County Jail, because I felt like it brought a lot of things into perspective for me. It taught me how I wanted to live the rest of my life, because I wanted to make sure that I didn't end up in the situations that some of these men had to face. And we got to see like the beauty, even though these guys are suffering every day. There are people standing in the hallways of a prison while doing their job. There's just guys singing at the top of their lungs and voices you've never heard before. I'm here today to introduce the new logo for Student Leadership Johns Creek. As we enter the 8th year of our program, the Leadership Johns Creek Executive Board decided it was time to create a logo that would represent both programs. The new logo includes a tagline, Develop, Energize, Activate. In addition, the river from our previous logo has morphed into an eagle flowing in the wings of an eagle taking flight. Although Student Leadership Johns Creek has a new logo, we are still the same unique leadership program representing the citizens of Johns Creek. Thank you for attending this evening's graduation. We invite you to join in refreshments in the foyer of auditorium, but before you leave, the class of 2019 would like to give a special thank you to Ms. Sanders for all she does for our program over the past few years. Ms. Sanders, could you come here, please? We're good here.